And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about recent developments in public education. My guest this segment is Scott Wilk, a member of the State Assembly from Santa Clarita. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Well, the first thing I want to ask you, I guess, is to get your reaction to that court decision that basically says teacher tenure in our public schools is unconstitutional.
Yeah, I thought it was an exciting decision, and I think it was the correct decision because children are not treated fairly in schools because there's students that have great teachers and those that don't, and teacher tenure is an impediment to firing bad teachers.
And didn't you have legislation streamlining the dismissal of teachers?
I did legislation last year that would streamline it for just egregious cases, so that's drug abuse, physical abuse, or sexual abuse.
But you couldn't get that through.
I couldn't get it through because Mrs. Buchanan had a similar proposal, which went through. The governor vetoed it. He didn't like it. He actually thought it was going to make it more onerous, which I agreed with because I did hostile amendments on the floor to insert my language when it came to the floor. But we just did pass one this week, again, only dealing with egregious acts that I think is a better version. I expect the governor to sign it.
Well, this tenure issue obviously is going to be played out in the courts for a while because the California Teachers Association certainly will fight it, and so we'll have to see, what happens down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I think now's the time to have a real conversation about teachers. Because if you look at studies, a great teacher that's in the top 15%, they add in a child's earning power $20,000 over the course of their lifetime. So you look at just one class of 30 students, you're talking about $600,000 in added, economic benefit. Conversely, with a poor teacher in the bottom 15%, it's about 15,000 loss. So, I think we need to have a conversation about how we need to value teachers more, which I don't think we do compared to other developed nations. We need to do more in teacher development, because the fact of the matter is the education that's being delivered is only as good as the teacher in the classroom. And so we need to equip those teachers. I think we need to pay teachers more. And then we need to be able to fire bad teachers, not just those that commit sexual abuse, but those that are incompetent in the classroom.
What do you think about the state budget regarding education? I mean, K through 12 got a pretty good boost this year.
Well, the problem with K through 12, we need to do more. I mean, I think we're 46 in terms of pure pupil spending. But I think we need to have a complete paradigm shift on how we teach kids. I mean, we're still using an 1850s agrarian model. So the model's based upon an agricultural society. So kids lose all that they've learned during those 3 months. We do a stand and deliver format. These students are digital natives. They've grown up with technology. We need to do that. I mean, I remember, unfortunately, playing with Lincoln Logs, but I remember, my son's now 28, I remember buying him a Nintendo when he was 3. So we have to make it more vibrant and interactive for these students to learn.
Well, Common Core will change, how they express themselves and what they learn, and they'll be using computers on the assessment tests.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's a good start in terms of raising the academic standards. I mean, if you look at how we compare to the top 35 industrialized nations in the world, we're continuing to go down. We're now 26th in science, in math, 21st in science, and 17th in reading. And as the world continues to shrink because of technology through globalization and the IT revolution, we have a moral imperative to equip every single one of the students that are in a classroom in California.
All right. Well, it's interesting discussion, obviously very, very important to California's future. Scott Wilk, thank you very much for coming in and spending a few minutes with us.
Thanks, Steve.
And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on My Government on Demand, also on YouTube. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.